Okay, so this afternoon we are going to update on our honey. Our honeybees have been doing really wonderful, and this is July 7th, and so we decided to, they were making so much honey, we decided to have a little bit, so they shared with us. So this is just our third frame. Yesterday we did 2 frames, and so today we're just going to do this other one to show you all what it is like. So this is early season honey, and it is from white clover, locusts, and spring wildflowers, which would be a mixture like with dandelions in it and other things that the bees can find. So it's really light honey. It's later season honey is a lot darker. So this is what it looks like once it is scraped off and put in the jar and the wax is strained out of it. So I mean, that's so beautiful. I mean, we've already had a few different people say that they've never hardly seen such nice, light, clear honey, and it tastes wonderful too. And the people we have shared with said it is absolutely delicious, and we think so too. So one of our neighbors gave us an idea of entering this into the state fair and the county fair this year.
I don't like honey.
Which we
it's too sweet.
Yeah. Which we never even thought of doing that because, well, we didn't think that. But I think we're going to do it because, I didn't know that you could even do that, and unless you are like in it already. So I'm going to call them and see if we can get that entered in, because it is beautiful, and I personally have never seen such light honey. So that is definitely local southern Iowa early season honey. So now since we're just doing 3 frames, we're not using a honey extractor. We're not spinning it off like we would do if we were going to collect this at the end of the season and there was a whole bunch of it. So we have the strainer here. And then this pot. And what we're going to do, this is actually a watermelon knife. And so it's a serrated knife, as you can see, so it works very well to scrape this off. So of course you have to so what we're going to do, so we first use the watermelon knife, and then once we scrape the wax off, then we will get the honey off. So this is 1 frame, so we're going to put it like this on our strainer. Actually, I'm going to have to do it like this because I'm right-handed. And then what we do here, not yet, Abigail. Okay, so we're going first the wax off, then the spoon part. Not yet. I will tell you when. So we're going to scrape.
You need to see mine.
Saw it. Come around then. See, and you can see that honey flowing out.
Oh my goodness.
All right, and then we're going to go down with it.
You don't need the wax.
Well, we can save the wax once we strain it out. You can put it in your jar of honey. People have honeycomb in honey, which is fine. You can chew on it. You can eat it. It's not going to hurt you. We tried to give it back to the bees for them to reuse it, but because the nectar flow is so good right now, they're really not interested in that at all. So we're just, because there's so much, this is summertime, so that would be more like winter. You would give this back to them, right? But right now we'll just keep it. Hold on, I'll do the other side. So we're just straining it out it's still in another pot that we're straining it out. Not yet. But one day when we get a lot of honey and wax, we want to make things with the wax. So we're really excited how amazing this is turning out, and our bees are doing so good. And the bees, we had 5 hives where the queens were going to hatch. Okay, so so we had 5 hives that they were hatching their own queens, and so we had checked them, and we knew that they hatched. and we were waiting for them to take their mating flight. Look how perfect that was. That's so beautiful.
Oh, that's so perfect.
That's so cool. I know. Big piece of wax.
Look
But
at
look at that.
that.
That's perfect. See how nice that does? That's amazing. That's beautiful.
Look at it. Well, you
Can you
did your
imagine?
job.
Thank you.
I'm going to scrape that off, then it's going to be ruined. Ha, ha, ha.
So the queens,
that's
so we were waiting for them to come back from their mating flight. And so we had to wait, you know, we had rainy days and things like that. So, I don't really know what to do with this knife. Hold on one second. Let me get it over there. It's kind of dripping with honey. We should have brought another bowl out here. Yeah, hold on. It's okay. Okay, and so, anyway, so back to the queens. So we had to wait, and you know, we had already in the past have one hive do their own, you know, hatch their own queen, raise her. She went on her mating flight. She came back successful, right? And she laid eggs. That was successful. So this time we had 5 new ones. This is when we had to split them all the, you know, so many different times this year we've had to split our bees. So they went back, they went out, and yesterday, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, actually both days I think, checked them, and they have all 3 of them have come back successfully from their mating flight. We saw them. They are mated. They are laying eggs. They're safe. So that's amazing. Thank you, Jesus, when we found those queens. The other 2 that we're waiting for, we don't know if she's come back yet. So what we do to kind of help us know a little bit better, it's like a little test. What we do is when we don't see the queen has come back yet, even though we could have missed her, we're not saying that, or she could still be gone. But what we do is then what we'll do is we give them a frame of egg, would have eggs on it, okay, from another hive. So we give them 1 frame of eggs, and what would happen is that if they do not have a queen, if she didn't make it back, then the bees are going to take some of those eggs and make it into queen cells to raise another queen. If she is back, or if she does come back, or if she was already there, then they're just going to let those eggs hatch as regular worker bees, and then that will just go into their colony. So that's kind of, so then what we'll do is that then we'll come back in a couple days and we'll check to see what has happened, and then that's how we know.
Honey.
And then also what I was going to say is that this bee's going to prove me wrong, though. What I just said was that, you know, we can do this we're doing this outside today, right? No, leave her alone. We're doing this outside today because the nectar flow is so high right now. Normally the bees would not come and mess with this honey. Normally you would be doing this inside like a honey house or a honey room that you have specified for doing this, because then the bees are not going to come in to take this back, right? She's like, hey, this is our food, we're going to take this back.
I have to scrape
she's going to prove us wrong. She's going to prove us wrong today, but she's just one of them.
I don't have any flowers on
Yeah,
it.
it's okay. Okay, so now let's scrape this, okay? All right, well, let's do it together, because now we're going to scrape it all the way down gently to the comb. I mean, to the frame. Or the foundation, to the foundation. Okay, let's do it together, though.
Okay, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
On the next one, I'll do it by myself.
Yep. Now, some people like to try to save this comb and give it back to the bees like that. But right now, I mean, we're not doing many frames. So, and it's a little harder to wait for them to, you know, to drain all that out. So we're just scraping it up with the wax and let the bees, they'll build it back up. Like I said, we're just doing 3 frames right now. They will. Don't make a mess, though.
I won't.
So, yeah. But yeah, it is sticky. Honey, I will.
Sorry.
I'm doing it with you. Period.
What's period?
Means don't ask questions.
Okay.
So collecting honey is a sticky business. Now we're going to turn around and then we're going to flip it over and get that other end in a minute. Let's do this side first.
Oh my goodness,
And see, what will happen is that once we get all this scraped off into this strainer, then we will cover it with a cloth so flies and bugs don't get it, and then we will just let it strain out the honey, and it'll take a couple days to get it all out. Now we do have a honey extractor, which we're going to get set up and going once, you know, when it's the fall time, and when you do your normally you do your honey collection when it's more, you know, more frames, so it'll be a lot quicker than this way. But a lot of people don't know that you can collect honey this way, so it's kind of interesting, right? All right, my arm's a little tired for a second.
I did it.
Thank you.
Ha! I did it by myself. Get off.
Now, hold on.
Ah.
Now we're gonna let Samuel have a turn too, okay?
Okay.
Samuel, can you stand back down here by sister to have a turn?
I
Thanks.
don't want to do two
You
more.
can. Oh, I will in a minute. Now let him have it. Okay. You want me to flip it over really quick?
I'm gonna do that side.
Okay, then I'll let him do the other side.
So now I do that side.
Uh-oh. I'm dropping honey everywhere. I'm so
dropping
sorry.
my-
It's okay, get a little bit of honey on you, but that's okay. It's a sticky business, but it's a tasty business. That's for sure. I'll hold it right here for you. Do you want me to help you, or do you got it?
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not too complicated to collect honey this way.
Okay.
And it smells really delicious too.
It smells sweet.
It does.
It tastes.
But it's
sweet.
definitely this early season honey has a nice flavor to it.
I know.
really
I do
do.
the other side.
1 minute, please.
No. Come on.
And then what we do with the frame then, before we give it back to the bees, we'll set it up in like one of our fruit trees and let the bees kind of clean that up before we're going to put it back, because this would be kind of messy to put back in their hive. They really wouldn't like that. So we'll let them clean it up outside, and then we'll give it back to them. And then they can just reuse it. So, but our bees are really are packing in the honey. Oh, and also about the honey too. You know that wax that was on top of it? That is called it being capped. So you cannot collect honey until it is capped with the wax, because it's not ready. So as they're putting the nectar in it, and it might be looking like honey to you, but it's really not honey yet, it's just nectar. So also, once it's capped like that, the bees are saying that it's ready, and it's at 17 to 18% moisture, that's what you want for honey. And also what that means is that honey is going to last indefinitely now. I mean, honey doesn't ever go bad. Now, our honey, we like raw honey. So meaning just right off here, we strain it and we put it in the jar. That's all we do to it. We don't process it. We don't heat it up. Now that may, over time crystallize in your jar, which doesn't mean it's bad. At that point, you can still use it for what it is, like it is, or you can heat it up at that time to get rid of the crystals. But we don't process our honey. So, a lot of people process the honey ahead of time. But then I feel it's no different than pasteurized milk, right? You lose a lot of the antioxidants and the good things that you can get from this natural stuff. I mean, if you pasteurize milk, high heat kills good stuff, right? A lot of people say it kills bad stuff, but it also kills the good stuff. So that's why we personally like raw honey. And when we do milk our cow, we do not pasteurize her milk either.
My neck.
Uh-oh. Okay, so this is scraped off, as you can tell. Anybody want to taste it?
Yeah. Me.
It's really good. And like I said, you can just chew the wax. It's not going to hurt you. Samuel loves it, right? You love the wax. Yeah. Yeah, Daddy made you a jar yesterday. He wanted wax in the honey jar. So he has his own little jar of wax with honeycomb in it. And he likes it. Oh, yeah. And then you can just spit it out. Exactly. Once you chew it up and get the honey out of it, you can just spit it out, right? So let me taste it. I didn't taste this one yet. It's good. Yeah, you just kind of
now I have honey lips. I just have put lips on. Now I have honey lips.
Honey lips. That's good. Sweet lips, right? Yeah, so the wax is kind of like a gum. You chew it, suck the honey out of it, and then spit it out. I think Samuel swallows it, but that's okay. It won't hurt you.
You used to have it in your mouth. I want to have it in the night. Oh.
So here you go. So now we're just going to cover this up, and then we'll strain it before we put it into the jars, okay? And check back to see Thank you for watching our videos. And
My best
just remember to give God thanks for all of
Bye
His
bye,
wonderful creation. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye,
Bye. Bye.
Bye, you're my best friend.
Bye.
Best
Bye.
friend. My best friend's friend say bye.
Bye.
Mommy.